Hey everyone, welcome to Withering Effect episode 60. Today's date is August 30th, 2020, and I am Duds, or Duds versus known rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Well, other than the, what did Jimbo say? Constantly happening right now. For those who missed the pre-show and weren't in there, for some reason, it's either Jimbo's internet or my internet is cutting him out.
Could be mine.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep leaning towards mine. The internet for my house has been really wacky lately, and the more and more I hear it, I'm thinking it might just be mine cutting you out.
Yeah.
So there might be one or two cuts of me going, hang on, what'd you say?
Yeah.
If that's the case, poke Carl and tell him, hey, why is that in?
I think it's happened on my end before.
Maybe. But yeah, this week was all building storage room. The entire week, I was inside the mountain building the storage room. So I finally decided on the design for the multi-item sorter. I went with the one I had built last season. I'm not sure if I talked about this last episode. When we recorded last episode, I had just started building it or just finished building it. It's very weird because my episode came out probably Monday when you guys hear this. And the first 5 minutes of that show or that episode was 4 days worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
Between gathering materials, planning it out, doing some measurements, making sure it'll fit, and design work. It was 4 episodes, and then I'm recording this, going through all this work, and I go to edit the clips, and I'm like, this is not even a third of the episode. So, yeah, I had that going on. I've got the storage area done. I've got the bulk storage done, and they're nice and pretty and decorated, and I so happy with how it came out, and I'll probably be talking about that more on our main topic, because our main topic this week is kind of like a step-by-step process of how we design something.
Yep.
So you'll get more into that there. Other than that, my life has been dominated by Minecraft and hockey, and that's just kind of it right now. What about you, Jimbo? What have you been up to this week?
Well, besides getting the kids ready for school,
they
start tomorrow. Thank goodness. Should be relieved and have a little bit more time to work on my episodes. But lately, I've been doing episodes within a few days, 2 or 3 days. The editing takes a little longer, but recording my episodes would only take a day or two.
Yeah.
After one session, I'll put the pieces together, go back in, play a little more, do what I have to do, and usually have an episode. And it's working out really good for me. Especially, it's given me a little bit more break time. Usually my episode will come out on Saturday, and then I'll start that weekend on the next episode. And if I finish on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll take a few days off from Minecraft just to get back into it on the weekend again. Get back going, full head of steam. I don't want to conflict with any burnout this year.
Yeah.
The problem is I'm going big.
Mm-hmm.
So this week I started shaping my perimeter. You'll see it on my latest episode. I'm trying to make a dome type of shape, and the dome is gigantic. The big circle is 301 block diameter, and the smallest is 205. So it'll, like I said, dome in, or kind of like a bowl type of deal. And I have to kind of shape that. That's kind of what I'm doing. I need to get my flying machines going again, because that time lapse that I did in my latest episode took forever. Took way too long. It took like 2-3 days, to be honest. And
yeah,
I don't want to burn myself out just on that. It'd be nice if I was streaming. Possibly can now that, school's starting up again. Then again, anyone that's in school won't be able to see the stream. So I'm still, on the fence of when to stream. That does give me a little more time, though. So I could do some of that then, but I still, to avoid the burnout, I might just build the flying machines, take out as much ground as I can that way, just to avoid those long 3 days of... You saw that little piece I got done. That's not much.
Yeah.
And it took that long. So definitely to avoid the burnout, I got to run these flying machines.
Yeah, I sat there and I was watching that time lapse and I was waiting for you to basically finish. And I'm like, wait, he's still going.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, he's still going.
Yeah.
Why is he still digging this by hand? It's like, oh man, I felt so bad for you at that point.
Yeah.
But the shape of your bowl has given me a really cool idea for a futuristic base that might be stuck in the back of my head for next season.
Nice. The shape I did, the curve, that's kind of what I want to go, but it's gonna be shaped a little different because it is a bowl. So the inner circle is going to be a little smaller than the outer circle. So I don't know. You'll have to see how that comes about. If you ever made a circle in Minecraft, you'll understand a lot of math. But
well, the shape I have in my mind isn't a circle. It's more of a rounded box, but the slope and angle you did of your bowl curve, just it's stuck in my head. I go, oh, this could be a really cool structure.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that.
Think Tron mixed in with that shape, and that's what I'm kind of like have in my head right now.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't going for a Tron look, so yeah, that'd be pretty interesting to see.
I think so.
I gotta fill all that stuff in. This is gonna take some time.
Yeah.
I just brought that up out of nowhere. But yeah, that's about it for my week. It's been pretty slow, you know. Like I said, I'm just trying to take my time.
Yeah, I think a lot of Minecraft YouTubers are hitting a spot where they're either working on large episodes that require a lot of work, so episodes are a little bit far and in between, or they're at a point where they're taking a break because summer's coming to an end, and that usually is time for vacations and stuff like that. I've never been a summer vacation guy. I'm a end of October vacation guy. I like the fall. Fall is my favorite.
Me too.
Or if you want to say autumn, I'm good with autumn. I lived in Florida for years, and honestly, I could care less for a beach. Especially living in North Carolina now, I don't think North Carolina beaches compare, and I'm not driving all the way back to Florida to enjoy a good beach, though North Carolina does mountains. Very nice. They're not super obtrusive, probably like where they are near you, because I think you're right on the Appalachian Mountains too.
Well, I'm right on the Ohio River, actually.
Oh.
It's more away from that.
Gotcha. But yeah, we do mountains pretty well here, so I prefer waiting till fall, and then I just get in my car and I go driving through the mountains with the windows down. It's nice.
Yeah, that fall weather, you just can't beat it. Not in my eyes. Reminds me of football season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the heat lately, man, for me, it just drains me. I feel like I lose energy in the heat when the sun's just beating down on you. Man, something about it.
Yeah, it's been hot and it's been muggy here because we get rain almost every other day now. And it's not like a nice, good rain. It's like it rains for 2 hours just to make everything wet and then humid and miserable. But we've been getting these small little gnat/fruit fly bugs everywhere. Like one of them landed on my face last night as I was trying to fall asleep, and I ended up slapping myself trying to kill it. And it's just like, I shouldn't have a bug net for my bed inside my house. This is getting ridiculous. So I'm ready for the coldness to come and kill all these little insects.
Yeah, that can be annoying.
Anyways, should we go ahead and move on to the news?
Yeah, we got a few things. No Minecraft updates or anything.
Nope.
Nor the PvE or the combat update. None of that. There is OptiFine is now out. I think it is the full release, I believe, right? Yeah, I actually just downloaded it. I downloaded Replay Mod. I think that's the full release. If not, you can still get it. I'm not positive. And I was able to put those together with OptiFabrics. Everything I did on 1.16.1, I was able to do on 1.16.2. So now I'm able to do the whole Replay Mod effects and everything, and that would have been so much easier for my last video.
Yeah.
But it's out now, and I'm thankful for that.
Are you still using a fabric loader?
Yes.
I really enjoy the fabric loader. When we were waiting for OptiFine, I was looking for a sodium version for 1.16.2 because I prefer that over OptiFine, but it hadn't come out yet, and OptiFine obviously was on their game for 1.16.2, and they finished up really quick, so I'm on OptiFine right now.
Yeah, thing is, like, as soon as I downloaded, I went on Minecraft, and Wintergrave, past guest of ours, was on there, and I told him I just installed OptiFine, and Replay Mod to where they're now compatible
Mm-hmm.
with the 1.16, both of them together. And he was telling me, he goes, man, they must have been working together to get it out so fast, because you have to, with OptiFine and Replay Mod, they have to, I don't know, they have to go together somehow. Something with the coding he mentioned. But he mentioned, they probably working together to get it out so fast. Because it wasn't too long ago it came out.
Probably.
This is big news for some Minecrafters. It's actually been pretty popular lately with a PvP, Bed Wars type of deal. Mr. Beast Gaming channel had a battle between Technoblade and Dream. And it was pretty entertaining. These videos I don't watch very much. I know I watched a couple Dreams speed runs. Wasn't too familiar with Technoblade, but Technoblade and Dream, they're considered like two of the best PvPers out there. And a lot of people were debating on who is better. People would say Techno, some people would say Dream, who's better? Well, Mr. Beast was able to get these two together and they fought it out. And it was pretty entertaining. If you don't want a spoiler, you might want to skip ahead, but Technoblade ended up with the victory, and it was very close. Very entertaining. I recommend, if you're into that, go watch it. It's a pretty good time.
Yeah, I've got nothing. Not the interesting part of Minecraft for me, so.
Yeah, like I said, we usually don't get into it, but I do follow Mr. Beast. I think his videos are pretty entertaining, and he does a lot of Minecraft stuff. I saw that on there. I was like, well, let's see what the fuss is about, and it was pretty good.
I'm a fan of Mr. Beast, especially considering he lives in my state, and when he was doing his food bank thing, do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He actually did the food line right up the street from me.
Wow, that's cool.
And he didn't mention that, and the food line here kind of kept it under wraps.
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't a bunch of random people showing up, but when we watched his video, me and my roommate were watching it, we saw the food line, and I went, I know that parking lot. Wait a second, that's our parking lot.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how he gives back. A lot of the
yeah.
profit that he makes, most of it actually, goes right back into his videos. And the Technoblade Dream match was actually for $100,000. He gave the winner $100,000.
Jeez.
So whoever won that, so they were under a lot of pressure. It wasn't just for bragging rights. It was for $100,000. So yeah, it made it even more interesting.
To think what I could do with $100,000. I shouldn't say that. I'd be selfish with it and basically buy the home I'm living in so I could try to become full-time YouTube.
Yeah.
Selfish.
It'd be pretty selfish.
But yeah, getting on to other news, there was actually a Bedrock DLC update that had me considering playing Bedrock.
Yeah?
And it's the Jurassic World DLC.
Hmm.
It's the first time I've seen one of these DLCs through the marketplace that I kind of went, oh, that spiked my interest a little bit.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen a lot, but that one was intricate enough and it looked smooth enough. Sometimes you get these DLCs and they feel quirky or look quirky, like something just doesn't match up. Kind of like this probably shouldn't have been in a Minecraft world. It's kind of like when you get a Lego set that doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
They mix in the, I forgot the kind of Legos that did it, but kind of like that. But the Jurassic World DLC looks really good, and I might play it.
Oh.
I haven't decided yet. I want to kind of get caught up on episodes. I ended up having to cancel a stream this weekend so I could finish my episode on Sunday.
Yeah.
I kind of got in a lull where it was taking me almost 2 weeks to do an episode, so I wanted to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that came out, and also we want to say, I guess a congrats to the Void Frogs.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys haven't been paying attention, you should be. They went ahead and they've concluded their run for now.
Yeah.
30 episode run. So congrats, guys.
Yeah, a lot of big names they had.
A lot of big names. Basically, you can think of anybody you're following. They might have been on the show.
Yeah, and they were also on our show.
They were also on our show, and they were kind enough to let us over there.
Yeah, we were on theirs, so that was a good time. Great time.
Yeah, so shout out to those guys. Definitely go give them a listen.
Yeah, for sure.
But other than that, we have no news for Minecraft. No listener comments this week.
Yeah, we kind of had to make up news.
Yeah.
We found some.
We found some. Again, I don't know if I mentioned it for the regular show. This was not the preconceived episode. Me and Jimbo had to make this show up 30 minutes before we started recording.
Yep.
So if it feels a little out of place, that's our fault. We're sorry. This was not planned like this. We had a different show in mind that fell through. So
yeah, if you guys feel like you have good topics for the show, throw them at us on Discord. We could even
definitely
give you a shout out. Let everyone know this topic was from whomever it was. So
I know we were getting a lot of topics early on when we started the Discord, and I think people felt that maybe we didn't say their topics, so they stopped doing that. Definitely keep sending in topics. Yeah, we might not talk about your topic the next week, but we have an entire section in our spreadsheet called ideas, and we've marked through all of our ideas.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to help us fill that out some more. Granted, they can't be like broad topics. Like, don't say, talk about PvP. Guys, we got to talk about 40 minutes worth of PvP. It's like, we're not PvP players. We're not going to be very good at that. But we know you guys want to hear stuff like that, so maybe we'll have a PvP guest on one day.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, like, the data packs and plugins was something a lot of people wanted to hear us talk about. Well, we're not data pack and plugin guys, so we got Wintergrave and Mad Cat on.
And also Bedrock. A lot of people want to hear about Bedrock.
Yeah.
And updates on that.
That's why we got Groove Guy.
Yeah, we brought a Bedrock player on to talk a little bit about it.
I won't throw him under the bus again this
week. But we can always consider more Bedrock players to bring on.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Definitely. So yeah, if you guys got topics, throw them at us. We're definitely keeping track of stuff like that. And we try to combine topics whenever we think we can. But it'd be great to have a back source or back end of topics that we can just go ahead and pull from when we have stuff like this happened.
Yeah.
Happen. Words, man. But anyways, talking more about the Discord, let's go to this week's Discord ad. And this was, Jesus, I'm not going to be able to get through all of this. This week's Discord ad is from a previous guest. This is Cass. Take it away, Cass.
Is this thing on? I'm Cass, and I'm here to figure out why you have yet to join the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to hang out with other Minecraft enthusiasts and the creators of the show. It's also the only place you can vote for Block of the Week. The link to join the Discord is in the show notes.
Alright, thanks again, Cass. Hopefully we're back to a point where I can actually function words. Words hard. Duds no speak.
Yeah, you kind of got to do that today.
Yeah. Staying on the Discord topic, we got Block of the Week. It's the only place you can vote for Block of the Weeks on Discord. This week we asked you guys to vote. Which of the following blocks would you like Jimbo and I to discuss? Your choices were Stonecutter, Tripwire Hook, and Note Block.
And the winner this week is... Note Block. Congratulations, Note Block.
Woo woo.
Going to the votes, this was very tight between all three of them.
Oh, yeah.
Stonecutter had 13 votes. Tripwire had 15 votes. The Note Block had 16. So one vote decided the winner, which is always cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Got a few things about the Note Block here. It can be crafted with 8 of any wood plank type and 1 redstone dust. Man, I can't talk either.
Words. It's contagious.
Jesus. It can only be mined with an axe, preferably mined with an axe. Plays a musical note when hit or when powered by redstone. Must have an air block above it to make a sound. Can be heard up to 84 blocks away and plays different instruments depending on the block it sits on, with 25 different pitches available.
I'm going to correct you on this because I know our comment section is going to be corrected. You wrote this down, but you said it wrong. Can be heard up to 48 blocks away. You said 84.
I said 84?
You said 84. You wrote it down 48.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw it out there because I know every time we misspeak, even though if it's just us being stupid like that,
yeah,
we get corrected. So he did have 48 down, not 84.
Yeah, numbers now. Words, numbers. Jeez.
we can't have us struggling on words and then struggle on numbers. I mean, we might as well no talk no more.
Let's end the show here. You want me to read us out?
Yeah. This week was an easy block of the week, mainly because the note blocks have so much room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's improvement from the note block was relatively close to the same, and that was a GUI for note blocks. Don't know why they don't have them. They should have them. You should be able to click a note block, choose the note, and be done with it. I think Decoy has an episode somewhere where he talks about note blocks and how to improve them.
Yeah.
Might have to look for that.
Yeah, he does.
But
not sure the specifics of it, but
yeah, that's kind of been everybody's improvement for the note block is GUI, GUI, GUI.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I take that one step forward so I can bring my own twist to this GUI thing? And my thought is, so when you place a note block down, you can place it on certain blocks to create different tones and sounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not, instead of placing the note block on a block, why not place the block inside the note block, kind of like you do a beacon? How you have to put an ingot in there.
Ooh, yeah.
And my thought process with that is, it saves space. You can make more compact note block songs.
Yeah, I like that. It could also be prettier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of times you got to hide all that stuff. I guess you'd still have to. It can get pretty bulky, but hiding the block inside of the note block would make it a lot more convenient.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Possibly mix them. Maybe get two of the same sound in one instead of putting two note blocks next to each other. Put maybe a sand and an ice block inside of one, and you can get the same sound. They would have to be the same pitch though.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I had thought about that, but I don't know enough about note blocks if that would make sense or break the entire system altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just running off your idea.
It's the natural way to go. But like I said, I don't know enough about note blocks. I haven't really played with them other than using them for decoration.
Yeah, same. They make a great decoration.
They do. They're very cool looking blocks.
Very unique. Used in redstone a lot.
Yeah. Every AFK fisher for years has used the note block.
Right. Yeah. I don't have much of a fix, but when we had to do the jukebox.
Yeah.
Earlier, I don't know how long ago it was, but I brought up it'd be nice to record your note blocks into a disc.
Mm-hmm.
And just wanted to bring that up here. I think it'd be pretty neat to, have a song and be able to record it to a disc from a jukebox. Thought that'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, I still think that's a cool idea. I just don't know how you would implement it.
Yeah, it's not so much note block related, but still uses it.
Mm-hmm.
Figured I'd bring that out. But besides, I don't have much of a fix.
So should we go ahead and hop into the main topic this week?
Yeah.
So the main topic, again, working on the fly, we came up with is kind of a step-by-step on our design processes. Both me and Jimbo have been expanding, and we're building bigger. Definitely Jimbo more so than I. And we're not Hermitcraft level giant builds, but we're very much building in the large scale and detailed scale. And I know for some people, it's too daunting when you think about a project that large. So everyone kind of stays small. And I wanted to break it up and kind of explain how we do it. So maybe it doesn't feel as daunting because it's really not that bad. Jimbo, I don't know if you want to go first or you want me to go first.
I can start us off, I guess.
Go for it. So when designing something, name like conception and laying it out and determining block palettes, all that kinds of stuff. Go for it.
Okay. Carl, can we get a cricket noise?
Okay, I was wondering because there were no sounds coming through there, so I thought I had lost you on Discord.
No, I was just going to bring up kind of what I'm dealing with now in the process I'm kind of going through right now.
Yeah.
I have a big build right now. I don't know if anyone is following it, but
nah.
I mentioned before, I have a huge void down to Bedrock at my base. The first thing I have to do is consider the terrain, what's around me. Can it be molded? What structures I need there. Right now I have a witch hut and a pillager outpost. Now, in order to put these two inside of one base area, I had to do a lot of math. So much math is involved when I do bases because something in my head like symmetry. I like symmetry. A lot of people enjoy the symmetry. So I do a ton of math. And I like to deal with shapes. So I get a shape in mind. And then usually, I'll shape it first before I really start building anything. Once I get the shape down, then I'll start to build. Terraforming usually comes in a little bit later. Block pallets. Now that goes with what the plan is. What do I want to build this season? And my block palette is fairly simple. I don't know how to put this. When considering a block palette, you need slabs and stairs for one, just to get a better shape. So there's only so many blocks. Unfortunately, you can't use concrete, slabs, and stairs. There's no such thing. So you want to expand to other blocks to fit in your palette that can fit with your theme. So I want to go something modern. So I would have to use, I could use concrete, but quartz could be used in a modern build. Is that about it? Is that the only stairs and slabs that are like modern like?
Yes. I mean, you could do polished blackstone stairs and slabs.
Yeah, well, you also have, the andesite and diorite polished stairs and slab. Those can be used there too, I guess. But yeah, the thing is, like, I don't have much of a block palette already in place. I'm still trying to figure out how the thing is going to look. And once I figure out how the thing is going to look, then I'll get the block palette ready. And a lot of this season is going to be variations. I'm going to try to blend different blocks together, kind of as if the idea is to like terraform a build. I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on that.
Well, the bottom, because it's going to be kind of modern, kind of futuristic actually, the bottom of my tower is kind of going to be like the terraforming molding into the tower, and then it's going to turn into the actual tower. That's the idea of the look. I just don't know the shape and how it's going to look, but right now I'm trying to figure out how much area I need, where things are going to go. Usually after that, and then you start considering the farms. What farms do I need? Where are they going to go? I have plenty of space, so where does it make sense to put it? You just don't want to put a farm anywhere. That just doesn't make sense. And I like things symmetrical. So it's either going to be, opposite of one farm or, adjacent from it. I think that's the same word I just said, but I think you get the gist.
I can't wait to break your symmetry one day.
Oh, man.
I used to be the exact same way. And then last season, building my castle keep base, I purposely would break symmetry to try to break my mind from thinking that way. And it frees you so much.
Yeah? Well, I could. I mean, I built a mountain last year. That's a totally different, way of going through things, way of going through the process of starting builds. Man, the words. And you're starting a mountain this season. What's that process like?
To talk about the process this season, like, you got to start at the beginning. So this is like 6 months ago when I started planning out for this season. As strange as that sounds, that's how far in advance I'm thinking about bases and next builds and everything like that. And this season was supposed to be a modern building in a jungle biome being overgrown. Just so happened a famous YouTuber, leave it unknown, went with the same idea. And let's face it, Exuma does it very well. So I know I just said it won't be named, but yeah. It didn't help that I couldn't find the right looking jungle on the server. So there were some nice ones, but they were like several thousands of blocks out. And I'm talking like 15,000 blocks out. And I don't like being that far away from everyone, because then it just becomes a single player world. And I would rather play single player like that than do something like this. So I wanted to be more close to spawn in the shopping district and everything like that. So what it came down to was I have my original idea of a jungle biome build is gone because there's not a jungle within 7,000 blocks of spawn.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Yeah, I needed to come up with something different and new. I was like, what's a biome I really hadn't built in before? And I really wanted to play with coral reefs. Because I felt on the last season of Comic Craft, I kind of got robbed of coral reefs. I built in an ocean biome, and I had this giant window into the ocean, but I had nothing there because it wasn't the aquatic update yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I'm not being robbed this season. I'm going to build on coral reef. And I ended up finding a couple islands that their plan from then was just to build near the coral reefs, maybe down and into doing an underwater base or something like that. But I came across these islands, so it just so happened Link and Mrs. Link chose the area next to them, and I had asked them if they didn't mind if I moved in next door, and it just so happens they found a new area to go build in. But yeah, these couple little islands right next to each other, and I went, okay, that could be a great place to start something. What else could I build here? And then I remembered Scar's pirate mountains or whatever from season 6 of Hermitcraft.
Mm-hmm.
I went, okay, that's cool and stuff, but I don't want to, again, copy another famous YouTuber, because then I should have just gone with my overgrown Jungle Martin build. And then I remembered your build from last season, the Prismarine Mountain. I said, you know what? I like that idea of mountains, and my pirate-themed mountains would be different from Scar in the way I would want to pirate theme it. So I went with that idea. And it really hit me when I had the idea for the storage room. I wanted, yeah, there will be a mountain and stuff. And that was kind of Scar's main focus, was the exterior. My main focus was the inside. I wanted dark and I don't want to say gloomy or anything like that, because this is supposed to be a pirate cave. So there are parties going on the inside and stuff like that. But I was like, what would be a cool, rambunctious party hangout for some pirates and stuff? And I had the idea for the cave and this lagoon in the middle and these shanties surrounding the inside of the lagoon.
Yeah, I wanted to fill my mountain with a lot more stuff on the inside. Wasn't able to get around to it, but it's always a nice look.
So these little sea shanties were going to be the inside, and the thought was to put like my storage room in one shanty and my bulk storage in another shanty and stuff like that. And then I ditched that idea pretty quick because I realized my confined spaces weren't going to allow elaborate rooms. So then I was like, I should just make the face of the shanties my storage rooms and furnaces and stuff like that. So instead of having a room with this stuff in it, I was just bringing the main focus wall, the wall where the chests and stuff are going to be, just pulled it forward, and I was going to make that the front of the sea shanties. And I think it's coming out pretty good. I have an idea. So the inside is going to be like your outside, so you're not really going to know if you're inside or outside, and that's kind of the whole me bringing some magic into it.
Yeah.
It's very hard to explain. Like, because when you think pirates, you don't think magic and stuff like that. But I was like, how cool would it be if, like, these pirates went into this, like, cave village and lost track of time, and they ended up just staying there forever, partying and drinking rum and stuff like that? What would that be like?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm playing with. And if you've seen my last episode that's come out Monday, you'll start to see the beginning of it. And I hope everyone really likes it, because the last couple bases I've built, I've had this like sketch in my mind, and putting it in the game, I've been able to do it, and I've been getting so excited with it. And it's just these constant little ways of thinking, little changes to think. I went from a modern building in a jungle to this. And it's such an extreme change, but it's always just one question at a time. It's like, oh, where would you want to build? Coral reefs. You immediately think, well, let's build underground. And then, like you said, you got to pay attention to the terrain that's around you. I had 3 little islands next to me. It's like, okay, those are pretty cool, but I need to enclose my structure somehow. Do I want to build a house? No, I don't want to build a house. I want to build a cave. Well, where are caves located? In mountains. So built a mountain. Like, I don't have enough room to put a shanty in it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take the most important wall of the shanty, pull it forward, and now that wall is going to be a quote-unquote house. And I need to frame this to look like a house while really only being a wall. And the credit to being able to do that, I'm going to give to Disney Imagineering. If you guys have Disney Plus and you're into building and stuff like that, watch the Imagineering documentary series on there. I think it's like 5 to 6 episodes, about an hour long each episode. And the way these people think and see the world really translate into designing Minecraft buildings and stuff like that. If you can start to see how they see things, it opens up a new bit. And that's how I've kind of been doing things. Like when it comes to pallets or whatever, I went, okay, so I need an oceany palette without it like slapping you in the face that it's oceany. So I wanted to use Prismarine because when we see Prismarine in Minecraft, we think ocean. And then I went, well, Prismarine gets used so much and you don't have a lot of the stair and slab variants. At least I don't think you do. Except for dark Prismarine. Well, it just so happens we have a Wither Rose farm, so black ink's not hard to get. So I could use the dark Prismarine variation.
Yeah.
And the way I build my palettes and build style is always the rule of 3. So you need 3 different blocks and 3 different kind of textures. So my 3 blocks for this palette are stripped dark oak, dark Prismarine, and warped planks. And then the 3 textures are spruce planks, because if you put a spruce plank in a dark oak stripped log, it's relatively close to the same color, but gives the stripped log texture finally. Dark Prismarine has its own stairs and slabs, so that comes generously. And warped wood has stairs and slabs, so that gives its own texture.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I came up with the palette this time around.
Hearing the way you went about going through things, makes me want to come back and explain a little bit about how I started mine. I kind of started with, the whole dig and everything. Initially, when I wanted to build my base, I wanted to build it in the sky.
Yeah.
And I wanted to build a spaceship. Never built a spaceship before. This all goes back to me wanting to build something modern and futuristic. Nothing more modern and futuristic than a spaceship. So to go with the spaceship, I like to have some kind of farm to go below it because I'm going to be in the sky. I wanted to make a perimeter, but I needed something to go below it. And that's when I was thinking witch hut. That's what got me to the witch hut. I didn't plan on doing a pillager outpost. That was not the plan at all. It just happened to be next to the witch hut. I'm like, perfect. Let's do this. Which, because of the math I was doing, made my base a lot bigger to fit these 2 in there. It wouldn't have been this big if I didn't find that outpost. So plans it escalated pretty quick.
Yeah.
My block palette's pretty much going to be quartz. Like I was saying, a lot of smooth quartz. I want to make sure, especially the spaceship. In my episode, I put out a little shop to where I gave you diamonds for your quartz.
Yeah.
Because I need so many of them. And that's pretty much what the spaceship's going to be. And I want to use the quartz a lot around the base also in the towers. Now, the terraforming didn't ever come to mind until I saw the Blackstone. As soon as they introduced the Blackstone, I was like, I'm using that. Holy crap, I'm building a spaceship. I can't use that. Where am I going to use it? I could probably use it in the spaceship. But I see it more as a terraforming, like an opportunity to make a different kind of terraforming. Kind of like as if the spaceship's coming in and it kind of burns a hole into the ground, that type of deal. That's the kind of feel I want to go for. I wanted to do like a layered glass look. Now I'm starting to think of just the lag it's going to bring, I don't believe that's a server thing, right? If I were to do glass.
I think it would just be a client side.
Yeah, it would be on my side. I guess it would depend if my computer could handle that.
I think it would.
And people coming to my base, they might have issues with it. So I'm still on the fence about that. I was thinking of, just carpeting it and terraforming it. I would like to mob proof it if possible. That might be pretty difficult, but just because there's so much of it, it would mainly be carpets, and it would look too uniform for terraforming. Terraforming, you don't want it necessarily uniform. You want a certain shape. You want it. What I'm looking at is more broken up, and like I said, I like the variations in the broken up look and the overgrown. So I'm going to use that. Definitely going to try to use some of that. And just throwing carpets down just seems like I don't know, getting away with something. I don't know how to put it. Really don't know how to put that in words.
Yeah.
I don't want to like cheat people. Like, I don't know. It would be very simple to do, very easy on me, but I feel like I could do better than just throwing carpets down.
Yeah.
Probably the best way I can explain it. Back to the mountain thing. When I started building my mountain, the first thing I did was come up with the pallet. That's the first thing I did, which is different than what I normally do. I came up with the blocks I needed for this mountain, and it was prismarine. I wanted to use all prismarine because I wanted a guardian farm.
Mm-hmm.
To make a prismarine mountain, you're going to need that. So I built my mountain first. First thing I did was make like an outline all the way around. First, I conquered the monument, and then I made this outline. It's kind of, I don't know, all over the place. It wasn't a complete circle, but kind of, I don't know, different kind of shape.
Yeah.
And I built up from there. I knew kind of the height. I kind of knew the shape I kind of wanted. So I just started from all four sides, north, south, east, and west. And I came to the point. Now, it wasn't a complete point. There was kind of like a volcano-like area in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I flattened it out up top. And then I made, it was just all stone. Just filled it in with stone. And then I came back to the prismarine. Because I felt like if I were to put the prismarine down now, I probably wouldn't have enough for one. And for two, I'd have to come back and break it all up anyway. So I just threw the stone down first and then came back and terraformed. It's kind of double the work.
Yeah.
But I think it was easier in the long run.
Mm-hmm. For me, when I was doing the outline, my biggest gripe I have when people build in the ocean is not taking it down to the ocean floor.
Yeah, I did that.
It's a lot of work doing it, and I know why people don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it doesn't look right doing that. And I knew I didn't want to spend all the time bringing blocks all the way down to the ocean floor. Texturing stuff underwater is not fun.
No.
When I saw these islands and the thought for the mountains came, I went, okay, well, how am I going to put these mountains on these islands? And I was like, all right, so I want the island to act like the mountain is protruding through it and not so much sitting on it. So my thought process was The island has a nice beach going all the way across it, or all the way around it, and green in the center. So I thought, well, I'll make the base, or my first layer of the mountain, where the green touches the yellow in the sand. So wherever the grass outline was my circle, quote unquote, for the base of the mountain. And then I did what you did, and I went north, south, east, west, and just kind of built up. Well, I shouldn't say that. My next step was I found relatively close to the center and built a pillar until I thought it was the correct height. And once I figured out the correct height, I went north, south, east, west, and I just did random lines up to it. I tried not to make them too straight. I tried to make them not sharp or curve too much. Just general wiggly lines all the way up to it. And when I was doing the wiggly lines, the first one, I don't know how many times I built a line, tore it down, built a line, changed something, then tore it down, then built a new one. I think I was in a call with Carl, and the first, I think, east line took 2.5 hours to do.
Ooh.
And I was like, man, if this is going to take this long, I'm going to quit. I'm not doing this stupid mountain. This is ridiculous. But once I got the first one in place, the second one came easier, and the third one came easier, and the fourth one came easier.
And you just don't want to like stair step it up.
Yeah, no.
That would be a pyramid. So you got to figure out the shape, what it's going to, what shape you're looking for. Like me, I would go up like 3 blocks and then come in 1. Go up another 3, come in, and then maybe 2, then maybe come in 1. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but you got to have the image in your head of the shape before you start, filling all that in.
I knew I was building inside the mountain, that a lot of my base was just right on the other side of this thin wall. So I went, okay, what am I having in here? I'm having a storage room. What kind of storage room do I want in here? And I was like, a multi-item sorter. Okay, now what multi-item sorter? Because you have what I call the categorizer, which is something like Cass has designed, or there's another guy who's built one that CubFan135 used, and it's a very tall structure when you build it. So it's like, okay, whatever I'm building inside this wall is gonna be at least 7 or 8 blocks tall. So my first couple, I should say, vertical blocks on my base ring were relatively straight up, and then would come in one and then go up for another 5 or so blocks, then come in one, and then I would taper in, so I would have some flat area, and then when I got towards the top, I went straight up again to kind of find the Y level I wanted to be at. It really is freestyling it when you're doing a mountain, I found.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have your base circle, and you have your 4 directional guidelines, I should say, but you're mainly just kind of winging it. I went around the base of the circle, and I built upwards, going up, like you said, every 3 to 4 blocks. Would look and be like, okay, this directional line, I went up 7 blocks for some crazy reason right here. Instead of going up 3 blocks and over, I need to go up at least 5 blocks and then over. There's very much spots on my mountain that do not line up correctly, but I know I'm going to have to go back through the entire mountain and texture it, so I'm not too worried about it. It's just understand when you're building a mountain, you're probably going to be building it twice, once or even 3 times. You got the wireframe.
Yeah.
Then you got the, what I call paper mache, which is just a quick wall. And then you have the texturing, which is the finished product. So,
yeah, I do want to mention, I tried to take my mountain to the floor. I remember when I was working on my final episode, I wanted to finish my mountain because I didn't want it to go unfinished. And I was like, man, this doesn't look right just like floating here. I want to take it to the floor. On one side, it's like already there. It's already kind of connected. Even then, that could have used, it was kind of flat. That could have used a little bit of structure. But I tried to do the wiring frame thing, and I did it on different sides, even like some at an angle, not just north, south, east, and west.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started filling it in, and I realized, like, for one, the base got bigger, the base area, it got wider. So there's even more work. And then I'm like 3 hours in, and I notice I'm like getting nowhere. This is going to take weeks to do. I want to get this episode out a lot sooner. So I ripped down what I had, and I put the episode out as the mountain as is. I did want to take it down, but it wouldn't look right if I were to bring it down all the way to the floor and not terraform that, not break it up a little bit either. Because I was just putting the stone down at that point, and I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to do this. Let's just leave it as stone. And once I saw, like, the walls going up of the bottom of the mountain, it just didn't look right. It didn't feel right. So I just took it down to leave it as it was, because it looked great how it was. It just, that's one missed opportunity that I wish I could have done, was bring the mountain all the way down to the bottom of the sea.
And I think you building a mountain first is what is enabling me to do it this season, because I know the sections you struggled at, and if the parts you would change if you could change.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to kind of take advantage of that. It's like, okay, Jimbo's mountain was really, really big. Looked good, but really big, a lot of work. I can't put in that kind of work or time. But if you pay attention to details, it all works out. So came up with a much smaller design, but still the same level of detail you were putting in. So hopefully it's going to turn out okay.
Yeah. And with the amount of like building I did below it in redstone, I don't think that compares to the terraforming that I've done.
Yeah.
I've put a lot of time in to terraforming that mountain, and not just the mountain itself. You know, there's the podzol I used all around it, and the trees. The trees. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the other thing. This mountain that I'm building is going to have a few trees on it, but nowhere near as many as your trees.
Yeah, that's what took a while. I mean, once you get a rhythm of doing your terraforming in your trees, you kind of speed up a little bit, so that helps. Consider that also when building. Try not to, try to build things in the same way so you don't have to go back and fix others. Because I did that with one of my trees, and I was like, I like this tree better. And I'm like, wait a second, I got to go back and fix all my other trees now to match this one.
Yeah.
And I did. But, yeah, it turned out really good.
And it's also important to put out there, this is the way me and Jimbo think and design and stuff like this. This process might not work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know at one point, I can't remember if it was you, Jimbo, or if it was still Bank on the show, where we talked about laying out bases and stuff for survival SMPs and what all you want to put into it. But now we've kind of gone through a I shouldn't say a step-by-step process, but a general step process for how we've gotten to where we're at now in some of our builds.
This doesn't include like houses or anything. We're talking about, mega builds, kind of base builds.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go simple, I always stand with the rule of 3. It's 3 different kinds of blocks with 3 different texture variations is always nice. And remember, I'm using spruce plank as a texture variation for stripped dark oak. It doesn't have to be the same block necessarily, as long as the texture matches up. So keep that in mind.
It's definitely important to make sure you have stairs and slabs in your palette.
Yes.
Also, don't pick the blocks like people love concrete. I love concrete, but there's not stairs and slabs in them. You can always use that, but make sure you have blocks to complement it with some stairs and slabs. It just helps out to bring in more depth, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, terracotta, you can't get stairs and slabs with that, and those are a lot of blocks people like to use also.
Yeah, but I think that's going to do it for us today, Jimbo. Before I have you read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to our Patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Aubni, Crock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, TheOfficialCCL, viperoustuna, and YDYT. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/thewithering effect.
And if you like this show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us, or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach out to more listeners. If you would like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com, tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
Yeah, the show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found down in the show notes. Thank you guys so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.